Have you at any point asked why we frequently act so unreasonably? Analysts do that as well, which results in endless explores about human instinct, in spite of the fact that there is still a ton of unanswered inquiries. And there is far to go until we find the conclusive response, for instance, to why we fall head over heels for a particular individual. Because of them, we presently discover much more about how we feel, think, and act. Here we have gathered 50 demonstrated brain research realities that make sense of a ton about human instinct and will totally change how you see the world. Our initial relationship with our mom has life-enduring outcomes. There is a justification for why therapists get some information about your mom. One of the most powerful discoveries of brain science shows us that regardless of where we are conceived, the previous relationship we had with our essential parental figure enormously influences our grown-up personal connections, the manner in which we handle distressing difficulties, or our way of behaving towards our well-being. A vibe-decent life isn't really a solid one. We as a whole need to be content. However, if you need to be solid, you ought to rather look for importance, says a review drove by Barbara Fredrickson. They have concentrated on the qualities of individuals who are participating in a ton of exercises, which makes them feeling quite a bit better, however need genuine importance, like going out widely, and the outcomes were stunning. They had a similar quality articulation designs as individuals presented to persistent difficulty. The gathering proposes quit pursuing transitory delights and begin searching for exercises with significance. Stress can be great as far as we're concerned in spite of mainstream thinking. Stress isn't generally something terrible. Really, it very well may be great for you. Therapists have long noticed that pressure assists you with achieving tasks all the more effectively and can propel you to arrive at your objectives. Nonetheless, it is critical to have great ways of answering it and to have plausibility to recuperate from it without them. It becomes undesirable, making our life hopeless. Next, 35 Hazel Eyes realities. Communicating in an unknown dialect adjusts your perspectives. You wouldn't think along these lines, yet you could settle on various choices when you are communicating in your subsequent language. As per a review directed at the College of Chicago, understudies utilizing an unknown dialect settled on not so much close to home, but rather more level-headed choices. This recommend we could deal with data contrastingly while communicating in another dialect. A few feelings are general regardless of where you are on the planet. Individuals will perceive on the off chance that you make a miserable, blissful, sickened, unfortunate, shocked or irate face. Because of this, these feelings are called general feelings, and they are known across societies and early on. Social associations may mean quite a bit to us than food. Maslow's order is most likely off base. His order of human necessities expresses that at base levels we are driven by fundamental physiological impulses to make do, and solely after satisfying these requirements, might we at any point move over to different requirements, similar to social associations and self-realization. In any case, flow research says something else, as it shows our most major need is having a place in our association with different people. This is the very thing causes us to take part in exercises, prompting self-conservation or self-satisfaction. A few of us can smell tones, a couple of us can see the state of feelings, smell tones, or hear shapes. This intriguing neuropsychological peculiarity is called synesthesia, and happens when our psyche automatically mixes vibes that regularly are capable independently. Individuals who experience it will quite often be brought into the world with this expertise. Botox could treat sadness as indicated by the facial criticism hypothesis. Our looks impact how we feel. So researchers have briefly debilitated the muscles required of miserable looks with Botox infusions. This caused individuals to lose their pessimistic, profound experience, and they have revealed diminished side effects of misery. Things that happen to us in early adulthood are with us long haul. Have you at any point saw how your mom likes to talk a great deal about the things that happened to her during her mid-20s? Or on the other hand, at any point asked why individuals love transitioning young person stories? Our inclination for recalling recollections from juvenile and early adulthood is classified memory knock, and it very well may be a direct result of the many changes we experience during that time. And our psyche will generally recollect changes in excess of a smidgen more repetitive periods. Next, 60 fun realities about me paying attention to traditional music is great for your memory improve at picking up something. It very well may be an ideal opportunity to open your old-style music envelope, as paying attention to traditional music was found to upgrade considerably more seasoned individuals' memory execution. The finding is hearty to the point that it has its own name. The Vivaldi impact. Our companions understand the fate of our heartfelt connection better than us. As per Tara McDonald and Michael Ross, in the event that you are enamored, and you might want to know whether it will endure, you ought to simply ask your mother. They announce that dating couples will generally anticipate the lifespan of their connections as idealistically as possible, so asking their loved ones filled in as much better indicators of whether their sentiments would get by. We favor our own pronunciations when 5-month-old infants are brought into the world with the capacity to see all accents of the world. However, from the age of 5 months, they begin to like and pay attention to their mom's articulation and keep away from association with individuals with different accents. Jokes with dyslexia are all the more genuinely responsive, albeit ordinarily dyslexia is seen exclusively as an issue. It very well may be an indication of an interestingly working mind with numerous qualities. For instance, watching similar recordings, youngsters determined to have dyslexia were seen to give more profound reactions than kids without it, recommending an abnormal, improved approach to seeing and handling close-to-home prompts. Encounters make us more joyful than material gifts. If you have any desire to give the ideal present, a call that mental examination recommends that buying encounters meaningfully affects individuals' joy than material items. In thinking back, individuals will likewise accept to shrewdly have spent their cash more. Detachment can hurt us truly call your grandmother. Being socially disconnected and feeling forlorn have genuinely critical results on us. They make us more inclined to poor psychological well-being and can prompt serious, unwanted cardiovascular results. Next, 101 pointless realities. Egotistical individuals will quite often be all the more politically involved exploring who participates in races and other political exercises. Researchers have come to an astounding outcome. More self-centered individuals can be more engaged with such exercises, may it sign petitions, giving cash or reaching government officials. Add to those outcomes that self-absorbed individuals likewise favor their very own benefit to the cultural necessities, and we could see the base of a few are ongoing issues. Air contamination damages our lungs. However, our cerebrums as well. Subsequent to exploring the mind of more established ladies with Alzheimer, analysts have found those ladies' cerebrum showing more modest cerebrum volume, who were living in regions presented to more elevated levels of air contamination, contrasted with the people who didn't. This recommends that foul air could harm our mind, changing its design adversely. Westerners are more restless, as per a review, gathering information from 147 to 261 grown-ups, matured 18 to 99 years. Nervousness is more common in major league salary nations than in nations with less fortunate financial climate. The concentrate further recommends that more unfortunate individuals living in Western nations are the most restless populace on the planet. Agnostics rest better compared to Catholics in a paper distributed in the American Foundation of Rest Medication. Specialists guarantee that skeptics and rationalists are fundamentally bound to be preferred sleepers over Catholics and Baptists. Joy is infectious as is bitterness. The premise of this peculiarity may be our normal propensity to impersonate the ways of behaving and looks of others. Researchers say this profound synchrony happens unwittingly. Yet the degree of it relies upon the closeness we share with the other individual. Individuals with lower fearlessness are bound to find lasting success. Individuals, as a rule, believe that high fearlessness is the way to make progress. However, as per business clinicians Tomas Chamorro Pre-Music, it isn't precisely evident. As he says, low enough self-assurance makes you more open to criticism and conduct changes, which bring about better working environment results. Appropriate dozing hours further develop our memory altogether. Would you like to recall something? Give yourself a decent night's rest. As per a review, new recollections stick better on the off chance that we have a merited rest in the wake of concentrating on them. Compassing by hand makes children more astute in spite of the fact that life is getting more advanced. clinicians contend for continuing to handwrite part of our educational plan. It appears to be that children compassing by hand find out more and recollect better compared to the ones utilizing a console. It very well may be because of the way that penmanship actuates more detects, which assists with making associations between various pieces of the cerebrum. Daydreamers are more imaginative. Our way of life will, in general, see mind meandering as terrible. However, as per therapist, it very well may be only a side effect of being savvy and more imaginative. What we say initially leaves with others' initial feelings are surprisingly significant. Researchers notice this at many pieces of our life, particularly while persuading others. So you ought not be hesitant to shout out first. Individuals will more often than not recall the principal contention for a more drawn-out time frame, and they likewise impact our perspective more grounded. Our momentary memory endures not exactly a portion of a moment in an exemplary mental brain research concentrate on members who needed to recollect 3-letter strings, could review 80% of them following 3 seconds. However, following 18 seconds they could recall 10%. This impact has been dependably duplicated since that, proposing that you could have proactively failed to remember a portion of the realities you have understood previously. Next, 45 Green Eyes Realities. Miserable music causes our psyche to meander. In a cerebrum imaging study, researchers have found that paying attention to miserable yet not cheerful music expanded the strength of psyche meandering. It has likewise made individuals concentrate inwards and contemplate themselves, while individuals paying attention to blissful music pondered the actual music and others. Individuals who are the most bumbling are the most unmindful of their own inadequacy. There is a dependably noticed impact, named after its unique spectator as the Dunning-Kruger impact, which depicts the mental inclination that people with low capacity at an errand are probably going to misjudge their exhibition. These individuals essentially neglect to perceive their absence of capacity, making them unfit to assess their own capability impartially. Consistently helping other people could make us live longer. While auditing the impacts of standard chipping in, analysts have found that it could lessen early death rates by 22%, contrasted with those in individuals who don't participate in such exercises. Normal assistants likewise detailed decreased sadness side effects, an expanded feeling of life fulfillment and prosperity. More threatening individuals own more forceful canine varieties. The character of proprietors of characteristically forceful varieties, similar to Rottweiler or German Shepherd, was contrasted with the proprietors of characteristically quiet varieties, similar to Labs and Brilliant Retriever. The outcome: they were viewed as higher out of resentment, animosity, and aggression characteristics. Week after week exercise can forestall downsize to Alzheimer's. An examination distributed in the Diary of Alzheimer's Exploration and Treatment has found that when patients with gentle mental impedance began rehearsing actual activity no less than 3 times each week, their gamble of getting Alzheimer's has fundamentally diminished. Time to clean off our running shoes. There are extraordinary periods when liquor is horrible, as far as we're concerned, in spite of the fact that liquor misuse is in every case terrible for your mind well-being. There appear to be 3 uniquely delicate periods when serious liquor utilization brings about combined dependable impeding consequences for your cerebrum. Growth, from origination to birth, later youth, 15 to 19 years, and more seasoned adulthood, north of 65 years. Dismissal in a real sense damages you. Have you at any point felt hit right in the gut after someone dismissed you? It is no big surprise that dismissal harms to such an extent. As per neuroimaging concentrates on similar mind regions are actuated during socially and genuinely excruciating encounters, coming about in comparatively harming encounters. Stress during pregnancy changes our minds. Babies' minds might be formed by their mom's encounters during pregnancy. Another review joining neuroimaging with hormonal examples found children of ladies who were encountering pressure to have different mind structures, contrasted with sound ones, particularly in districts significant in profound responses, making them bound to have intense subject matters in later life. We don't change our conduct by hearing it is terrible. Would you like to persuade someone to quit accomplishing something irritating, such as littering? Analysts prompt you rather center around the positive result with your message. Say, for instance, nearly each and every individual who lives here place their waste in the trash. This way, the suitable way of behaving is introduced as the accepted practice, and individuals are unknowingly disposed to follow it. Individuals from various societies cycle data in an unexpected way. It has been displayed in various examinations that when seen as seen, most Americans center around the outwardly most unmistakable acting article. Yet most East Asians center around the foundation and the unique circumstance. This recommends that from the outset of discernment, any of us from East Asian societies see individuals and articles more in relationship to their current circumstance. Fathers' minds answer contrastingly to girls and children. Fathers act contrastingly with little girls and children. They are more mindful and receptive to their girls' requirements, sing all the more frequently to them, and talk all the more straightforwardly about their feelings towards them. The review, distributed in Social Neuroscience, investigated the brain foundation for this way of behaving, showing fathers their little girls' blissful looks brought about higher actuation in cerebrum regions associated with remuneration, close to home guideline, and face handling. Rewards don't necessarily in all cases work, as per a review led in India and in the US. Enormous rewards just raised the exhibition of the laborers in specific cases, on the off chance that they accomplished mechanical work. However, if there should arise an occurrence of work requiring utilization of mental abilities, large rewards were really impeding on execution. Evening people are more canny. A review has found those individuals who rest and get up late to be more canny. It very well may be a direct result of their propensity to separate from typically rehearsed exercises for this situation. The standard social working of being dynamic during the day. We were things that were made by us excessively. We esteem things more on the off chance that we were engaged with their creation, and individuals likewise see their manifestations, regardless of whether they are exceptionally awkward, as comparable in worth to specialists' manifestations. Specialists calls this peculiarity the IKEA impact. We are terrible at estimating our close-to-home responses. An exploration bunch has concentrated on couples and requested that they foresee their profound state after their conceivable future separation. What was the outcome in the wake of visiting them once more on the off chance that the separation without a doubt occurred? The vast majority of the members enormously misjudged the pain levels they would feel, and, in actuality, they were much less upset. Who we find hot relies upon our own appeal. An examination of a dating site has found that individuals like to date others with comparable degrees of engaging quality. This impact is more prevalent in ladies. Contrasted with them, men appear to consider their different qualities all the more emphatically while picking an expected date. Believing that you will wind up alone can cause a drop in shrewd idea. Members of a drove examination to imagine that they would be separated from everyone else further down the road. We're less inclined to work consistently in the wake of getting this data. Different members, who got awful conjectures of non-social disasters, have not shown mental lessening, underscoring the job of social having a place in cognizant reasoning. Being discouraged may progress in years. Your mind at an investigation of a more established local area. Scientists have found that following sorrow, individuals possess their brain power in more awful shape. The cerebrum has in a real sense shrinked in its volume. Discouraged old have shown more noteworthy memory issues than their friends. We find balance appealing. Individuals find face and body evenness alluring. However, sit back and relax on the off chance that your face isn't totally balanced. It has been demonstrated that by adding balanced gems or face paint to unbalanced faces, individuals likewise wound up favoring them. Some people's appendages have their own psyche. The outsider hand disorder, most as a rule, happens after someone experiences stroke or other mind injury. The report feeling as though their hand is constrained by another person. It can act all the way out of their own will. It was even detailed for a situation to attempting to hurt the proprietor of the hand. Individuals who value incorrigible humor have higher intelligence levels. Amusing individuals, and particularly the people who appreciate incorrigible humor, were viewed as more smart than their less interesting friends. Both their verbal and non-verbal insight was higher. Additionally, they were less forceful than individuals who didn't